Hey guys, Sasabob here. And let me ask you a question. Do you guys want to be rich? Do you want to have a house in the hills and be driving 15 cars? Well, unfortunately, I can't help you with that. But neither can these finance YouTubers who are promising to 10x your money. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm a little biased here, as I straight up hate finance YouTubers. Well, actually, hate's a strong word. More like I very much dislike finance YouTubers. And by the end of this video, you might too. And I want to be clear. I don't hate the idea of financial education. Planning for your retirement and making smart investments is very important. And I also don't want you to feel personally attacked if you like any of the YouTubers who I'm going to be talking about, because honestly, I get why you might like them. Most of them do have actual videos that inform their audience on how to better their finances. But the problem is, you can only talk about how to build good credit and what a Roth IRA is for so long before you run out of things to talk about. There's a saying in the finance community that the best financial advice for most people would fit on an index card. So when these YouTubers inevitably run out of things to talk about, if they want to continue to make content, they either have to just start making clickbait or just make absolutely wild predictions about the market. The perfect example of this is financial education, but not like the theoretical concept of financial education, but an actual channel called financial education, which just seems almost purposefully confusing. But if we sort their videos by oldest, then we can see, true to their name, they just made simple videos talking about financial basics.
I am Jeremy, and as always, my goal is to provide free and easy financial education to the entire world, so please subscribe. Today we're going to talk about what is an interest rate.
But fast forward to today, and his videos are almost completely just clickbait, with titles like Stock Market Chaos or Buy This Stock and Retire. Okay, but on a complete side note that has nothing to do with his content, but why do all of his thumbnails look like he just took a picture right after murdering someone? Seriously, this is the most dead-eyed stare I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, homie, surely you have better pictures you could have used of yourself. But it's not just financial education pumping out clickbait. A lot of these same other finance YouTubers follow the same trend of starting out with actual educational videos and then transitioning into clickbait to stay relevant. But you might be thinking to yourself, so what? It's a little clickbait. That's just a part of the YouTube grind these days. Besides, they're just trying to spread financial advice. At least that's a noble goal, right? But that's the thing. It's not even good financial advice. Carson Gall has a fantastic video in which I'll link below, in which she plots out how much money you would have actually made if you invested in the stock picks that these financial YouTubers recommended, and the results are just hilarious. They ranged from -5% to -68%, while the S&P was up over 3% during the same period. And do you guys remember our good friend over at Financial Education? Well, if you ended up taking his advice, then you would have made a whopping -53% return on your investment. Which is just outright ridiculous. But it gets even crazier when you consider that most of these same financial YouTubers also sell memberships to private investment groups. Like, how are you about to pay someone to tell you how to lose money? Hell, you could do that for free by getting drunk and buying shit off Amazon you don't need. Large investment firms end up spending millions on market research and end up averaging returns of 10 to 20%. And yet you're going to trust some random guy on YouTube who tells you this one stock is going to 20x in value? But then, what's the point of all this? Why post clickbait and bad advice? Well, considering that these guys have made their whole careers around talking about money, the answer is unsurprisingly greed. As you guys know, YouTubers get paid per view, but what you might not know is not all views are created equally. You see, how much money a YouTube video makes depends on its subject. More specifically, how valuable that subject is to advertisers. This is also known as RPM, or basically the revenue per 1,000 views. The RPM for an average video on YouTube is usually around $2 to $5, but for a video about finances, it can easily climb to high as 15 to 20, which makes sense because the average audience for a financial video would probably have more money to spend and thus more valuable to advertisers. All this talk about RPMs can get a little complicated, so down below I'll link a great video by vidIQ that breaks it all down. But basically, the point I'm trying to get at here is the reason these financial YouTubers can afford to drop these clickbaity videos that might not get as many views is because their RPMs are so high, that same video will end up making the same amount of money as a better video with 4 times the views. And I believe it is for the same reason that these financial YouTubers will artificially stretch out their videos to get those juicy mid-roll ads. Let's take, for example, Graham Stephan, who I would describe as the best of the worst when it comes to these sketchy finance YouTubers. If we look at his channel, we can see that all of his videos seem to be around 15 to 20 minutes long, which is completely fine as long as those videos have 15 to 20 minutes worth of content in them, which, in my opinion, I don't think they do. When doing the research for this video, I couldn't help but notice he seems to talk in circles and go off about tangents about loosely related subjects. Take, for example, one of his more recent videos titled, "Breaking, Federal Reserve Announces Upcoming Rate Cuts." This video is all about the Federal Reserve cutting interest rates, but for some reason he has this whole segment talking about whether Democrats or Republicans are better for the economy.
So that got me thinking, who exactly is better for the stock market, Republicans or Democrats? Now obviously, past results aren't always going to be indicative of what actually ends up happening in the future.
Yeah, Graham, I get it. Politics suck, but can you please just tell me what the hell's going on with the Federal Reserve? No, I can't stress this enough. This is just my opinion. You might watch these same videos and think, wow, I'm really glad he talked about what the letter of the day was on Sesame Street before talking about the imminent collapse of the economy. That really added to the video. This could have easily been a 5-minute video saying, hey, this is what the Federal Reserve is doing, this is how you should respond. But, if he did that, then he wouldn't be able to stuff the video with a bunch of mid-roll ads. And I'm not even alone in thinking this. Just look at the comments on some of his videos. He's literally just out here making mountains out of molehills. Speaking of comments, if you go to the comment sections of any of his more recent videos, you might end up seeing comments like this, talking about Yada Bank, which in my opinion is where Graham Stephan goes from kinda bad to straight up diabolical. So basically what happened was Graham Stephan took a sponsorship to promote an online banking app called Yada Bank, as did a lot of YouTubers, but Graham took it a step further and actually invested in the company.
I decided to invest an undisclosed amount, and now I can officially say I am a small owner in Yada Bank.
Basically, Yada Bank was just a regular online banking app with a little lottery minigame built into it, but over time, it slowly transitioned to just being a full-on casino. CoffeeZilla has a fantastic video breaking this all down and how it happened, which I'll link below. And sorry I'm linking so many videos, by the way, but I actually had to do a little bit of research for this one. But Yada turning into a casino isn't the main controversy here. Rather, they had some trouble with a middleman that handled their transactions, and all their clients' money ended up getting just completely frozen.
18,000 in Yada that we can't get out.
Over $60,000 frozen up in Yada.
$15,440.06 frozen in Yada.
All of this went down like 2 months ago, but as of the recording of this video, those assets are still frozen. But even worse, a lot of these people only invested in Yada Bank because they trusted Graham Stephan.
So my brother actually told me about it. I'm pretty sure he found it through the Graham video.
That would have been Graham Stephan.
Stephen Graham's video.
Graham Stephan
video.
Because Graham is a famous financial YouTuber, people see him as a credible source when it comes to financial products. So whenever he promotes a product, people will trust that product because they trust Graham. Not realizing that the second he took that money from them, he became inherently biased. It's kind of like in the 1950s when doctors got paid a bunch of money to say cigarettes are actually good for you. But you might say, Sasabob, that's not fair. There's no way he could have known those assets would be frozen. Which is technically true, except for the fact that this is literally the second time this exact situation has happened to him. To make a long story short, basically what happened was, a while back, Graham got paid a shit ton of money to promote a crypto exchange called FTX. Then his viewers invested a bunch of money into FTX, FTX went bankrupt, and they lost all their money, while Graham made an absolute killing. What's that old expression? Fool me once, shame on you. But fool me twice, and I still don't care because I made a shit ton of money. If your viewers ended up losing a bunch of money because you took a sketchy brand deal, you think the logical conclusion would be to stop taking sketchy brand deals. But nope, not Graham Stephan. I mean, poor guy, he's got to pay for those supercars somehow, right? And it is for this reason I believe that Graham Stephan truly doesn't care about his viewers at all, because despite them begging for help in his comment section, he hasn't said a word about any of this, not even a shitty half-hearted apology. He must have gone to that Cody Ko school of just don't talk about it and it'll go away. And I hope you can see now why I'm so mad, is because these weren't just random people he was screwing over, these were his subscribers, people who supported him, people who trusted him. Now technically, I am a YouTuber myself, but in the same way like a chihuahua is technically still a dog. But even so, the idea of screwing over my subscribers like this makes me sick, and even if I did accidentally do that, I would hope to hell I would have the common courtesy to at least try to make it right with them. And that brings us to the title of this video. Please, for the love of God, do not trust these people with your money, because they genuinely do not care about you. And I think the root of this problem comes from the fact that most of these financial YouTubers come from business backgrounds and look at YouTube as a business instead of a form of creative expression. Now, don't get me wrong, YouTube definitely is a business. Creators are making money from their videos after all, but it is also a very artistic outlet for talented creators to practice their art and connect with their fans. And I think this whole aspect of YouTube is lost on these financial creators who are just out here trying to secure the bag. Because the one thing these people telling you how to make money online ironically won't tell you is the best way to make money online is to tell other people how to make money online. Hey guys, Big Money Sasabob here in my garage. Do you guys want to be able to afford cars like these? Well, it's simple. All you gotta do is follow these easy steps. Step 1, start making finance content. Step 2, build up an audience. And finally, step 3, scam that audience. If you follow these steps successfully, then maybe one day you too can be a baller like me. But hey, I'm just a guy on the internet. What do I know, right? So don't take it from me. Instead, listen to my good friend Graham Stephan in his video titled "Stop Listening to These Financial Gurus."
Welcome back to the Graham Stephan Show, and today we're going to be exposing financial gurus and why you shouldn't listen to them.
Wow, thanks Graham. Couldn't have said it better myself. The top comment on this video just sums it up so beautifully. Don't listen to the financial gurus, says the financial guru. I can't think of a more perfect way to end this video, so I think I'm just going to leave it here. But before I go, I did want to give an honorable mention to some financial YouTubers who I found who aren't actively trying to scam you. So if you're looking for no-nonsense financial advice or news about the market, then I would highly recommend the channels How Money Works and The Plain Bagel. Otherwise what? You really want to take financial advice from a guy like me? I unironically have money invested in Dogecoin. For the love of God, do not listen to anything I have to say finance related. Now, I might not be able to give you any financial advice, but I can definitely give you some entertainment advice. Did you guys know if you subscribe to Sasabob, you will see an over 200% return in the amount of internet shenanigans popping up in your YouTube feed? And did you guys also know that if you smash that like button, it might not raise your bank account, but it will raise how cool I think you are? But seriously, thanks for listening. I know this video was more of a rant than my other videos, but this is something that was bothering me for a while and I just wanted to talk about. And I promise next video we will return to our regularly scheduled internet shenanigans. But yeah, thanks for watching. Peace out.